Hello, beautiful spirits. Shakima here again. I am just stopping in to give you guys a weekly reading for. This is for my team Earth tribe, so this will be Team Hufflepuff. And I just wanted to give you guys some insights into the energies and how to work with it for the final week of the Mercury retrograde period. So the deck I'm going to be using for our readings today is the Rebecca Campbell Work Your Light Oracle guidance cards. Okay, and we're just going to pull a card to utilize this as the opportunity to see how to sort of work our magic and intention for this final week of the Mercury retrograde. And I'll also be pulling some stress relief card for the different zodiacs within the Earth tribe. So that would be Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. Okay, so you guys just hang in there and we will chop it up to see what the divine guidance is going to be for us. Okay, if you guys do like my technique, then definitely be sure to comment, like, share, and subscribe so that you can sort of keep up with the regular updates, and definitely hit the notification bell so that you can know as and when I'm doing these awesome readings for you guys. Also, I do the Free Yourself Friday readings on Fridays. Haven't been able to touch in for the last couple of weeks because Mercury retrograde has been kicking my booty in terms of getting some things into full gear. So just bear with me. There is going to be the weekly regular sessions. I don't want to say as of this week because I think that there's still some things that are up in the air until the shadow period of the Mercury retrograde season is over. And obviously the retrograde ends on the 28th and we've got a couple of weeks of the shadow period following as well. So just bear with me. I should be back up and running from the week of the 12th effectively. But I'm definitely going to try and get a reading in for you guys for this Friday. If not, I'm also going to be doing a live meditation as well, so you guys may be able to join in on that. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll go ahead and get straight into it because the space is already set. My candle's already been lit. This is my ancestral candle, guys. I'm literally just down to the end of my ancestral candle and it's been doing amazing stuff for me this retrograde period. If you guys are interested in getting your own ancestral candle for your altar or whatever manifestation needs you do have, then definitely be sure to hit me up. Okay, the details are in the description box and we'll just go ahead and sort of see what the divine guidance is, guys. Okay. Right. I can see that I guess the energy is very kind of instinctive for us, but let's have a little look and see. I hadn't asked a question yet, so that's why I didn't want to pull the card that was, I guess, brought to surface. But right, so what is the divine guidance, spirit, for my L.I.F.E Warriors within the Earth tribe, Team Hufflepuff? What is the divine guidance? Setting boundaries. This is going to be a time this week for you between the 25th all the way to the end of March is about you learning how to set boundaries, learning how to say no, and learning when yes is appropriate as well, because I think people think that, you know, setting boundaries is going around saying no to everything, but it's really about listening to that spirit, that inner calling, that inner being within yourself, and knowing when to not overexert yourself. So the lesson for you guys this week is to learn how to say yes and when to say no, because you're birthing a new age, you're birthing a new being into manifestation, and in order for this to happen, you're going to have to learn this being's limits, its boundaries, its expectations for how it's going to show up in the world. Okay, so where we're obviously closing out the retrograde cycle this year, what I can see for you guys with this particular message is that the boundaries that you're going to be setting in place for yourself is going to be able to allow the better version of yourself to come into being. And in order for that to happen, you really need to have a look and address what it is that you are clinging to as you're about to be, I guess, I don't want to say thrown out of your current circumstances or thrown out of your current comfort zones, but it's really a case of you not trying to use sentimentality to force yourself to stay where you are, to stagnate yourself, because Spirit is going to be forcing you to grow with this final season of the Mercury retrograde. And in order for you to be able to relish in all of the amazing possibilities of this growth, you're going to have to really go internally. You're going to have to really sort of inquire within yourself. Why are you sort of clinging to grudges? For one thing, that's the one thing that I'm picking up first and foremost. Why are you holding on to the grudge? What baggage, what purpose does the baggage of that grudge serve you? Why are you holding on to this person? How have they shown themselves to be worthy? Why are you holding on to these circumstances that are less than beneficial to you at this point of the journey? So those are some of the things that you're really going to need to be addressing, Team Earth Tribe, when you're thinking about, really sort of putting some boundaries into place. And in order to really get to more of an inner standing of that, you're going to have to listen to that inner calling, that inner voice within yourself. Utilize your discernment with God to be able to dictate to yourself, first and foremost, what some of your comfort boundaries are going to be. Because I think that what I'm seeing is that you've made yourself very uncomfortable over time for a lot of people, for the need to kind of be accepted, and that's worked so far. But at this point, I think you're getting a newfound perspective and appreciation for yourself. And with that being said, you're going to need to learn to teach these people how to love you now that you have this newfound perspective of love for yourself. And in order for that to happen, you're going to need to set boundaries, basically. Okay, we've got two cards for you. Earth Tribe. So again, this is about you really sort of allowing for your inner light to shine through and not sort of dimming your light just to fit in. Okay, and I just kind of address that to you. So the guides are pretty much along the same lines. It's just a case of you being able to be comfortable in how you feel and not having to make any excuses or make any judgments on yourself for the way that you feel in situations. The one thing, and this is amazing actually, so the guidance for you guys is to answer the calling. Okay, this is the guidance for you, Earth Tribe, is to answer the calling and trust the niggle within yourself. So what that's telling me is that, your inner being is calling for you to do certain things so that it can put more and more of itself on show, so that more and more of itself can be manifested into full form. And in order for that to happen, it's going to be speaking to you very intuitively throughout this time. And it's really a case of you just trying to utilize your connection to yourself to be able to voice that inner being's feelings and express yourself in accordance to that. I'm going to actually sort of read both of these cards for you guys, just so that you can get a full intention, a full understanding and understanding of the intentions with these particular cards that have popped out, because you're going to be going through an initiation. This process for you, I'm trying to get it to focus, guys. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. So this is a process of an initiation for you, where you're going to be going into a sacred place within yourself. You're going to be going into the shadows of yourself to be able to alchemize that darkness and turn it into light. And in order for that to be into manifestation for you, you're going to need to set the boundaries for yourself. Once you kind of feel that something isn't right, speak on it. If you feel like you're doing too much, take a break. If you feel like you're doing too little, find something within yourself to keep yourself motivated so that you can continue to navigate along the path that is going to be, I don't want to say self-serving, but that's going to be encouraging to your spirit. Okay, that's going to keep you inspired to continue down the path. Okay, I'm going to read, because this is all about personal inquiry for you. So that is what this week is going to be about for you. It's all about inquiring with self to be able to get more clarity on some of the boundaries that you need to be putting into place for your greater good. Okay, we're going to have a look at some of the details of the cards that we've got for you. So we're going to start with answer the call and see what the intention is for that card, and we'll take it from there. Okay, right guys, so answer the call. This is what your soul is calling you to do. So your guidance is divinely guided. You are being called to answer the call of your soul. It might be scary. It might not make sense. But if you trust your soul's yearnings, you will live a life beyond what your mind could possibly imagine. Answer your soul's calling. Answering your soul's calling is not a one-time thing, rather a lifelong dance. Deep down, you already know what you long for, what your soul yearns for. Whatever you are called to do, that is your calling. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for permission. Just say yes. Most people are waiting for a step-by-step plan before they take the first step. But intuition doesn't work like that. It takes faith and courage to answer the calls of your soul. And that's why most people don't do it. But you are not most people. You are in exactly the right place to answer your calling now. You don't need to know the whole plan. You don't even need to know where it's leading. You just need to take the next step. No one has ever had the complete perfect plan. There is no end destination. There is no right or wrong way to do it. And you do not need permission from anyone else. Okay? Sometimes the more resistance we have around answering a soul calling, the more important it is to our soul's growth. Okay? And I guess the how to sort of work with the intention in this space is just to continue to ask, what is your soul calling you to do when circumstances kind of show up over the next week. It's almost like spirit is calling you to purpose. So ask yourself in those moments, what is the purpose of this experience? What is the purpose of this circumstance within my experience? What is the purpose of this scenario showing up at this particular point in my life? So that you can sort of have a conversation with your inner being, with your inner self, and just trust the niggle of it as it kind of navigates you into more of the deeper layers and levels of yourself. Remember, you're going through an initiation, and this is going to really sort of tug on your current circumstances and really shift things into perspective for you. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to pull some stress relief cards now, guys. We're going to start with Aries and pull some stress relief cards and see what the divine guidance is for you guys working through this final week of the Mercury retrograde. Okay, what is the divine guidance for my Aries spirit? As clearly as you can. Let's have a little look for you guys. Okay, so the divine guidance for you guys to work through your stressful circumstances or scenarios is to say you're great. Okay, and in order to sort of do that, you're going to need to go to the center of yourself to really identify what your greatness really does sort of look like. Okay, now reading the card to you, it says, write down a list of things that you like about yourself and stuff you excel at. Use a moment to notice all the great things you are. You can do the list with the help of this question. If you were someone else, what things would you envy about you? When you pay attention to the good things in yourself, you don't just make them stronger, but also feel more complete and more powerful. If you only pay attention to the things you lack, you will feel incomplete and unsatisfied, which adds to the feeling of stress. Okay, so just bear all that in mind, Aries, and just go with the flow of things, go with that inner calling within yourself so that you can sort of see where this path takes you, and pay close interest to what you're being sort of divinely guided to do at this time as well. Okay, we're going to have a look to see what the divine guidance, did I say Aries? My bad, guys, I meant to say Taurus. So excuse all of that, I'm clearly still sort of in my previous reading, so let's have a little look. And okay, we have a lot going on here, guys. Mercury retrograde clearly is having some distortions for myself as well. I don't know if I should pull a card again. I think I'm going to pull a card again for Taurus, just so that we can get some clarity on that. What is the divine guidance for my Taurus tribe spirit? What is the divine guidance for my Taurus tribe for the final week of this Mercury retrograde? Okay, that's too much going on, so we're going to try that again and see. Okay, we have clarity. Meditate in the loo. So for those of you guys that aren't English, the loo is the toilet here. So just meditate. Take that moment where you're sort of sat with self to me dictate some of your plans for the day, to me dictate some of your plans for the week so that you can get some clarity. And again, the bottom of the deck is still saying to say you're great. Okay, so that was clearly still the message for you guys. Okay, so that's dope. I'm glad that the spirit's kind of sitting into the space, even if I'm not completely present. But yeah, meditate in the loo. So when you use the bathroom, leave your thoughts outside. They will be waiting when you come back. In the bathroom, take time to breathe, deep breaths, and if possible, close your eyes for a while. When you wash your hands, do it with a nice warm water, wash them thoroughly, and let the water flow. If you get a thought, throw it to the other side of the door and tell it to wait there. During these little repetitive breaks, you get a break from your thoughts. Concentrating on the present moment will ease your body and mind. Okay, so just be mindful throughout the process, Taurus, and make sure that you're kind of really focusing on the positives of the personality shifts that you're going to be going through, rather than focusing on the negatives of the discomfort and the dis-ease as you go through your transition. Okay, let's have a little look and see for Capricorn. What is the divine guidance for my Capricorn baby spirit? What is the divine guidance? Okay, guys, let's have a look and see. Divine guidance for my Capricorn babies. It's too many cards, Spirit. There's too much. There's too much. As clearly as you can. One card if possible. Okay. Let's have a look-see, guys. There we go. Thank yourself for what you're good at. Okay? Thank yourself for what you're good at, Capricorn. That is the divine guidance for you in terms of working with your stress and working through your stress through the final week of the Mercury retrograde. And be sure to name your feelings as well, because some of the times when we're not aware of what we're sort of going through internally, we don't know how to navigate with that inner being within ourselves, because we're not sort of focusing on its feelings. And essentially that's how our intuition communicates with us through the avatar, through our human body. Okay? But yeah, thank yourself for what you're good at. Write down all the things that you are impeccable at. All the things you've heard from your friends, plus all the things you yourself think you know how to do. They can be a big and meaningful, or small and invisible. When you are finished with your list, thank yourself for acquiring and keeping all that skill. Gratefulness adds to positive reactions in your body, helps us to be more present, and diminishes the feelings of stress. Okay, so just be mindful of that, my Capricorn babies, as you go through this transition for yourself, and look for your own power center throughout the process of kind of, getting more connected to self. Okay, what is the divine guidance for my final guys in the Earth tribe? That is my Virgo babies. What is the divine guidance for my Virgo baby spirit? Okay, you guys are going to a journey to your favorite place. Okay, and that place is to the center of yourself. You're going to the center of yourself, guys. That's at the bottom of the deck for you guys. And the message is that you are journeying to your favorite place. Okay, I'm trying to get it to focus, guys. Now, the advice to you guys to relieve yourself of any stress or tension in this space for this final week of the retrograde is to close your eyes and imagine yourself in a favorite place. It can be any place, anywhere you feel good and calm. When you get there, look around for a bit. Who are the people there? What do you see, smell, taste, hear, and feel? What kind of details emerge? Live the place with your whole body. Your body won't know that you're really not there or not going there, and it will react as though it did. when you feel the effects of the place, your body will relax. Okay, so sometimes just kind of take yourself away from your current circumstances and just kind of allow for yourself to have an outer body experience so that you can connect to your inner self, your inner being, and that's how you're going to be able to answer the calling for you personally, my Virgo babies. Okay, so that was it for the reading for you guys for this week, the final week of the Mercury retrograde period. These are obviously general readings as well, guys, and these are just oracle guidance. So if you would like to book a personal reading with me, then definitely be sure to visit my website. The details are going to be below in the description box. That's www.shakimabrown.com. And if you guys do need anything else, if you guys would like to purchase your own ancestral candle, then again, the details of that is in the description box below as well. You can email me at shakima8@gmail.com. Okay, for the most part, I'm just going to be sending you guys nothing but love, light, and positive intentions for the rest of your journey. And I'll see you guys on the other side. Ashe, beauties. Mwah.